everyone, and welcome yourselves back to the channel, back for another House of the Dragon episode. And today is finale day. If you haven't checked this out, I would class this as one of the finest shows of the year, but one of the messiest shows of the year as well. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, if you're a fantasy lover, Lord of the Rings lover, you'll love it. Subscribe and like, spoilers ahead, and let me know down below in the comments if you have enjoyed House of the Dragon and what you thought of this fine finale. Enjoy. So, 10 weeks, 10 episodes, 10 million time skips, but an overall great finale that, tested how Daemon would react, Rhaenyra, everyone, how they would deal with Aemon or Aegon being named King. Oh, is it Aemon or Aegon? I have no idea. One of them has been named King of the Seven Kingdoms, and now news from Rhaenys has traveled to Dragonstone to allow Rhaenyra to know this knowledge, and basically she cries. But then she fights for her reign. Not fights physically, but fights metaphorically in the sense of she wears the crown. And she will do everything she can to earn the loyalty of houses around Westeros, Starks, the Tullys, the Baratheons, those sorts of people. And I thought that was brilliant because we obviously saw an interaction with the Baratheon in this episode. Um, you know, in many ways, when she sent her kids off, I sort of were like, one of them's not going to come back. I didn't think it would be the younger one, in my opinion, because I know Jocelyn or Jace, however you want to call him, he is obviously the heir to the Iron Throne once Rhaenyra dies. Um, but then you got Luke, who obviously goes to Baratheons and ends up going face to face with Aemond, Aegon. I can't, because of how different they look to their younger parts. I can't remember who's who. I think it's, oh no, it's Aemond, because Aegon the Conqueror has his name's Aegon. It comes across Aemond, who is also at the Baratheon household, and obviously, yeah, you just know it's not going to end well. You think it does because he walks out, he fails to claim the relationship between him and the Baratheon because of what the king's giving him in regards to what the queen is failing to offer. So basically, he would leave, and then you get one of the most epic scenes in the whole of the season. You get this shadow of this huge dragon above Luke, of Aemond toying with him, and I think Aemond truly didn't grasp how intense this rivalry is. They're chasing each other. The Luke ends up losing control of his dragon. Aemon loses control of his dragon. And in those moments, you see two young lads who have been thrown into a war that they don't really know anything about. The intensities, the levels to it, and obviously, how it ends with Luke being eaten alive with his little dragon. One of the most WFTF moments of the show. Aemon is in shock, and that is at that moment you realize he's not evil. He's just a bully who has been manipulated by Alicent and is it the Greens? Um, and yeah, he was so he was so shocked. I mean, as fans, because he came out of the storm, he came out of this area, he thought he was miles away from Aemond, and then in this nice sunny cloudless area, and then he's looking around and boom, ripped to shreds by this big ass dragon who was not controlled by him, and he had lost control because he had been set on fire. Well, he had his face on fire, so he wanted his revenge. So two kids playing in a game they never understood, and one of them lost their lives. And now Rhaenyra, obviously not angry, but obviously even more of a reason to battle with Alicent in season 2. I think the way this episode was delivered, from the battle strategies, the way Daemon wants revenge for Viserys' betrayal. Um, he's dead, and Alicent and Otto have took this chance to control the realm. Rhaenys and Corvus have proclaimed their men and women to the cause of the female crown. And I just think it was delivered so well. And everything we've been through this season, the rivalry and the friendship between Rhaenyra and Alicent, the death of Viserys, the upbringing of all the kids, Damon's role, Corvus's, Rhaenyra's, the way they've transitioned in this world. I think it should have been done over 4 seasons. I'll always stand by that. But ultimately, I'm going to have to overlook that because it's never going to change. What they've done, they had a bit of action, some great stories, disloyalties. And overall, I think Aemon was the standout for this episode. I think he looks so menacing and determined to toy with his nephews or cousins, whatever they may be. But ultimately, he learned a valuable lesson. Damon was the standout for the whole show. He's the best actor. He's better than every single actor, miles ahead of everyone. I thought Otto Hightower's character was very good and villainous. The creepy guy who works for Alice, I think, is one of the worst characters I've ever seen in the show. He's just a freaking creep. He looks creepy. He just gives me creepy vibes. I hate everything about him, and the weird foot scene in the last episode I didn't even address because it was too weird. But yeah, I think story wise it's delivered so well, even with the time skips. The cast has been perfect. The action, the delivery of the scores and the shots and the dragons and the battles and everything from the first episode with the young cast to the last episode with the old cast. Damon stands the strongest with Viserys' character from Paddy Constantine standing in second. I think this season or this episode is one of the stronger ones because it didn't have as much action, but had great dialogue and shots and valuable lessons that were lost and learned. But ultimately, House of the Dragon as a whole could have been one of the most perfect shows ever if it had a bit more better pacing and not relied on time skips. So House of the Dragon season one gets a 8 out of 10. Um, I had higher. I didn't really have hopes. I just wish there wasn't as many time skips. It worked in their favors in some ways because we got to see different characters play same roles of Rhaenyra and Alicent. We got to see Viserys in the older, frailer state of mind. We got to see Otto return to the role of the hand, and Damon obviously mature and develop into such a kind-hearted but reckless and ruthless person with a strong mind for the right things at the same time, depending on who he's dealing with. But yeah, truly magnificent, and I think 8 out of 10 is definitely enough considering the time skips were messy at best. But yeah, you guys let me know down below in the comments. What did you think of House of the Dragon episode 10? What did you think of the season as a whole? What would you rate it as? Who was your favorite character? My favorite character was Matt Smith because he's gone from being the Doctor to featuring in Morbius to The Crown, and now this. One of the finest actors of the 21st century, in my opinion, because of his diversity and his ability to take on any role and play it to his fullest. Until next time, check out my Game of Thrones reviews coming in the future and maybe some more House of Dragon videos coming very soon. So we'll have to wait maybe another year or two until the season 2 rocks out because of filming, post-production, and more. When that sort of stuff starts to finish and trailers and whatnot start to roll out, I will deliver it to the channel. So stay tuned for that. Hope you enjoy the channel. Check out all the previous reviews. And of course, until next time, goodbye.